recalls Berima Ewachi Akantan II, also known as Mr. Chris Asher. Mr. Chris Asher, please. Commission also invites Captain Retired Kojo Tsikata and his legal team, please.
Dr. Sama, I've got you down. The other gentleman is Chief Jeffrey. Yes, all right, thank you.
Mr. Chris Asher, the other time you swore before giving evidence. Today you are going to be cross-examined by Captain Kojo Tsikata's counsel. So you are reminded of your former oath. Mullah witness reminded of his former oath. Thank you.
Dr. Sama, you may put your questions,
Thank you.
My Lord and members of the Commission, I suspect that I may be overruled, but I have a preliminary point that, with the kind permission of the Commission, I would want to make. The point is that when I testified here, I testified against Kojo Tsikata. I never testified against any Captain Retired Tsikata. The man sitting there, the guy sitting down there, is not a Captain Retired. He was cashiered and thrown out of the army and lost his rank, and ever since that time, he is simply Kojo Tsikata. Simplicity. For purposes of identification, I would want to know whether it's the same person sitting down there.
It doesn't matter whether he's doctor or captain or whatever it is. He's Mr. Kojo Tsikata. Yes.
Okay.
So, as far as we are concerned, he can take any title which he wants. We are not going to investigate to find out whether he's entitled to use a qualification or not. So please, let's all be calm and
I'm obliged, my Lord.
Go through the proceedings. All right, thank you. Dr. Sama, please go on.
Now, Mr. Chris Asher, in your evidence, you stated that Captain Tsikata had taken an action against the national security agencies for harassment, and that the case went before Justice Ajepong. Now, as a matter of fact, that case was heard by Mr. Justice Roger Kosa.
My Lord, I'm very honest. I can see that there was an error under the circumstances and the conditions of incarceration under which I was working on these papers. There was an error. But historical inaccuracies in the Bible have never made the Bible unauthentic. So one single historical inaccuracy, which I am honest enough to concede, would not render what I've said and what I have to say unacceptable.
It's not necessary. Just answer the question and let's get on.
If you are patient enough, we shall find out whether you have only made one historical inaccuracy. Now, in your evidence also, at page 12, from the transcript of the evidence, you were saying that America and Co. were arrested as a result of the swift action of Yidana.
Pardon me? As a
result of swift action by Yidana, Superintendent Yidana and Co. Let me read it to you so that you can refresh your memory.
Yeah, that's right. I've heard it.
My Lord, thereafter, that is at page 12, my Lord. My Lord, thereafter, everybody knows that the killing backfired because immediately the information came out, there was an uproar, and the uproar is what brought about the immediate arrest of these 4 boys through the very quick and swift action of Mr. J.J. Yidana. The boys themselves told me. That is your evidence.
Yes.
Good. Now, at page 15 of your testimony, you said that, I'm reading again, a lot from the top of page 15.
Yes.
What was there in store for the boys? And the more serious part of it was that when it became obvious that America was talking, Tsikata and Rawlings got Major Gbedema to sign for America's arrest on August 4th, 1983. You will remember that America was arrested and detained together with Michael Senya. Then it goes on to say that it's rather lengthy, but there's the other part that I want to go on to because I don't want to.
All right.
So he said, okay, just in order not to confuse him, I think I'll read the whole thing.
No, I'm not confused.
They became, the idea was that they had plotted a coup. It was not plotting a coup. This is how it happened. Giwa, I met him in Abidjan, and he told me the story in confirmation of what America said. They became, when I say they, I mean Rawlings and Tsikata, became worried about disclosures to the SIB by America. America knew too much, so they commissioned Giwa to arrest America. Then it goes on further to say, so America was arrested. He did not protest. Giwa put him into an armored vehicle, brought him to the BNI. Now, how do you square this up with your claim that the arrest was a result of swift action by Yidana?
My Lord, I think there's a great sophistication of the issues in the mind of Dr. Obed Samuel. Yidana's action referred to there, if you were not quoting out of context, is when he was mandated to lead the investigation into arresting the suspects or whoever murdered, kidnapped, and murdered the judges. That is the swift action of J.J. Yidana I referred to. Now, referring to the arrest by Jua, Tsikata has asserted, and I read the statement on the internet in the United States he filed here, that America wanted to stage a coup, and so he had his arrest. My contention is that based upon the information that America Jandu, confirmed by Jua himself, gave me, he was arrested on the 4th. America was, in fact, asked to come to the head office, invited there through Lieutenant Richard Addo. That is the man he and Rawlings sent to invite America from the broadcasting. I asked America, hold on, sir. You asked me, and I'm entitled to answer. Hold on, sir. And I asked America, why would they ask Lieutenant Richard Addo? America's answer was that they wanted to avoid any of my friends coming in case they would refer or they would brief me on what was happening. So Lieutenant Richard Addo went to the broadcasting and asked Amadeka to come and see the chairman. When Amadeka arrived, Corporal Adebuga and I think Corporal Hamidu, one of the other corporals, were on the veranda of the chairman's office. Amadeka then asked Adebuga to permit him to go and see the chairman. Adebuga told him that they were having a meeting, so he should wait. Then, whilst waiting, Jua came out of the office of the chairman and asked Amadeka to see him in his office. I suppose, probably, I'm not too sure, Adebuga also accompanied them there. And Jua told him that, Amadeka, they have asked me to put you under arrest, knowing that we are likely to have a shootout. Please don't resist, and we will not have any shootout. Amadeka did not resist. Jua put him into an armored vehicle, took him to the BNI, came back and told him that Amadeka did not resist. He said, oh God, he didn't resist. That man sitting there. That guy sitting there.
I think we
so
can
he
do,
said,
we can
oh
do
God.
without your drama.
Oh God.
Just give the evidence.
Oh God, he didn't resist. Jua said he did not. He said, listen, go back, take him from there, and take him all the way to Sawem. Between BNI and Sawem, whether he resists or not, eliminate him, kill him. At that time, they didn't know that Jua himself was harboring misgivings about them. Jua took Amadeka to Isawem, deposited him there, and never did what they asked him to do. So the two are clearly distinct and different and have no relationship with each other.
I had a very simple question for you.
No, you are
and the simple question was that you claimed on the one hand that Amadeka and Co were arrested through the swift action of Idana.
Oh, yes.
Then on the other hand, you are saying that they were arrested because Captain Tsikata and President Rawlings got Major Bedema to sign for the arrest. And that the arrest was done by Giwa. You are one and the same person.
Dr. Obed Esamwa, you are either misunderstanding intentionally or you've lost your former brilliance I knew. Let me tell you. Idana.
I didn't ask you to tell me anything more than that.
I'm going to tell you that because you have asked me a question. Sir, I will answer your question. If you don't want me to answer,
go on.
Say so.
Go on.
Okay. Everybody knows it is a notorious fact that Idana was the man who was chosen to lead the investigation into the arrest of whoever kidnapped and murdered those 4 persons. And I say he was very swift. I commend him, even though for his reward he incarcerated him. Now, I am talking about the arrest of Amadeka on August the 4th of 1982, which he himself came here. I saw it on internet that Amadeka was going to stage a coup. And I'm saying that it was his usual ploy. It is in his chromosomes to devise means of any kind. That is his habit. We know that. So there are 2 different issues. Don't try and confuse the 2. I know you had a brilliant mind when I was a young member of the bar. If you have been contaminated by him, I'm sorry.
All right, please. Let's have the next question. Next question, please.
Thank you for that conceit. But you said in your evidence, which I quoted in page 15, that when it became obvious that America was talking, Tsikata and Rawlings got Major Bedema to sign for America's arrest. Now, whom was America talking to? That led to...
Amadeka was bewildered.
Whom was he talking to, which, made the captain and JJ...
he was asking questions. I was not his bodyguard, so I wasn't following him to know whom he was talking to. But Amadeka was bewildered by according to him, why Rawlings went on the air to denounce the murders at all. Because Amadeka, he likes Rawlings very much. He doesn't like this guy. He suspects him, but he likes Rawlings. So he was bewildered why Rawlings went to the air and denounced the murders when America had believed passionately, and this is why I sympathize with the guy, that it was a national endeavor. So America started hunting him and hunting Ametekwe, trying to find some answers to what is all this about. That is the talking I mean.
Now listen, the SIB, the inaugural meeting of the SIB was on the 10th of August 1982. And the first session of the SIB was on the 17th of August 1982.
Okay.
Now, from Yidana's book, it shows that let me get the page. At page 157 to 158, yeah, you can have a look at it if you have a copy. It shows from page 157 to 158 that America was questioned for the first time on the 10th of October 1982 in the afternoon. That is when America started talking in relation to the murders. And at that time, America had already been arrested.
Yes.
So his arrest would not have been because he was talking about the murders.
Dr. Obedesamwa, I know you were a good lawyer. You didn't study English, but I studied English to an MA level. And I was a very brilliant English student. America was talking loosely, and America was talking to Idana and giving names. They are the circumstance. One, the circumstance of his talking before his arrest, and the circumstance of his talking after his arrest are in the same. He was talking to Idana and mentioning names that bothered him. This guy bothered him.
But by Idana's own account, he hadn't talked to America before the 10th of October.
Dr. Obedezamwa, I have not said that America, before he was arrested, he was talking to Idana. I say he was talking and worrying and querying why Rawlings had denied. I didn't say, I've never said that America talked to Idana.
You said it this morning.
Jesus, I have not said that. Go back on the records.
You said it just now.
No, I have not.
That Idana was talking to Idana.
Stop there.
It's all right. Let's go on.
Go on. No.
It's all right.
Let the records
please,
show.
Mr. Chris Asher, it doesn't matter. Please, Dr. Sama, go on with your questions. We will check on all these things.
Very well, my Lord.
Yes, my Lord. I want some more water.
Now, you said in your evidence that when the America and Co. were taking the victims to Bundasi, they got a call from Captain Kojo Tsikata. America got a call from Captain Kojo Tsikata. This is at page 11 of your evidence, if I may refresh your memory. Whilst on the way, he got a call from Kojo Tsikata asking him to change the venue to the Achimota forest.
Yes,
but America insisted that Bundasi would be okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, how did he communicate with America whilst they were in the vehicle? On the
How
way?
did he
How
communicate
did
with him?
Tsikata communicate with America whilst they were in the
Give
vehicle?
me a break, Dr. Samuel. Are you living in the ancient times? By phone? By two-way? Are you living in ancient times?
But in your experience,
He received a call.
by what means? Just tell us.
By wire, by phone,
Which kind of phone?
by radio. I don't know. I wasn't there. I've told you I was not I'm the guy's bodyguard.
Yes, but that is it. But you have come
I
here
am
to say
telling
what
you
he's
what he
supposed to
told
have
me.
told
I'm
you.
telling you what he told me.
Yes, but I'm trying to show that you did not check. You just took everything
Jesus.
on face value.
Dr. Asamoah, I was not sitting in my office, which he helped to destroy, and interviewing America, Jandu, and the boys. I was in prison. He was after me to hang me, and these boys needed my help, and I was getting information from them quickly. I had to get all the information as quickly as possible. I got all that. I wasn't comfortably sitting in my office, happy as you may be. Time was not on my side. The circumstances were very stringent.
I'm putting to you that this piece of evidence is a manufacture.
Mr. Dr. Esamwa, I am very happy. If I manufactured all this, then I have the most brilliant mind in the world. And you pay me a compliment. If I manufactured all that. But don't forget, America is not dead. He may appear one day.
Now, you said you were present in Squadron Leader Tego's choir at the last rites.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, you were in Nsawam.
Uh-huh.
You were in Nsawam prison.
Yes.
Yes. But the last rites of America took place, Amatekwe, sorry. Amatekwe. I'm talking about Amatekwe.
No, you are getting it wrong once again. Here we go again, Dr. Obede Samuel.
No, you listen at page 18 of the evidence.
Is that you? Are you the man I knew?
I'm asking this commission, this is page 18. I'm asking this commission on the basis of the evidence that came to me through, pardon? On the basis of the evidence that came to me through those boys, America, Jandu, Tekbo, Senya, was exactly 20 years when Jandu, Senya were executed, and Amatekwe. 17th August last week, 20 years exactly. And on the day Jandu requested I should see him in the condemned block.
Would you want to save your breath, Doc? Because I know what I'm talking about. Would you save your breath?
Yeah. Yeah. I joined Major Tego Church Choir and got in there, and I told him Amatekwe requested for a hymn, Lead Kindly Light. Senya asked for another one, and Jandu asked for What a Friend We Have in Jesus. And that day I told Jandu he had become like a son to me. To see a youth of that age so destroyed broke my heart anytime. I had my meetings with him, and I treated him like my son. And that night when I went to say goodbye to him, I made him promise that their story would be told, etc., etc. Now,
Doc?
I'm suggesting to you that no such encounter took place, because the last rites for these people were conducted at Ashaford, not at Nsawam prisons.
Doc, I'm sorry. I think you're losing your memory.
It's all right. Just answer the question.
The last rites were conducted by Major Tego. If there was any other rites anywhere, I don't know. Major Tego was in Nsawam prisons. He was in the annex block with me. He was the leader of he was the choir master. And I wanted to get into the condemned block. Jandu sent me a note, and I couldn't find a way. So I went to Major Tego and pleaded with him that I needed to speak to the Jandu. Hold on. He looked at me and said, okay, we will allow you, but don't come and cause any trouble there. That is what he said. I said, Major, I wouldn't cause any trouble there. My Lord, one of the most emotional moments of my life was when I got in there. Jandu came down. He had a beautiful hair, swept it back. Apparently, he had had a bath, clad in a white bed sheet. Amatekwe, that was the only time I saw Amatekwe face to face, was there. And then Senya rather looked agitated and haggard. And I went and stood between Senya and Jandu. Jandu had talked to Senya about me, so he whispered to Senya that this is Mr. Asha. And Jandu clasped my hand. And when Major Tego started his sermon, he asked each one of them to choose a song. Amatekwe chose, I think, Lead Kindly Light. Amatekwe chose Abide With Me. Senya chose Lead Kindly Light. And Jandu chose What a Friend We Have in Jesus. And at that moment, I almost wept. But I held his hands hard. And at the end of it, I said, boy, don't worry. I will live long enough to tell your story. And I looked at him, and Major Tego, strict as he was, would not allow me any more time. He said, Mr. Asher, we go. And as I left, and I looked into the eyes of the boy who had become like a son, sent to his death by an inhuman person who was rejoicing at his death, I felt like if I had a gun myself, I could have gone and shot him dead. Don't tell me it wasn't at Insawam.
Please.
Yes. And so you had a gun, and on the 14th day of September 1982, you shot one Oforiata.
Oh, come on.
You shot one Oforiata. And you were facing committer proceedings. We've got evidence from the magistrate who was going to conduct the committer proceedings. You had been served with the papers in prison, but then you ran away. You shot dead somebody.
What's the question, please?
The question is that, isn't it true that he was facing trial for murder?
My Lord, I was in prison, not awaiting trial for murder. I was in prison once again. Here we go again, Dr. Obede Samwa. I was arrested on, I think, the 13th or on the 12th of September, 1982, when finally I had given up and I wanted to leave the country. On the Friday, that was the arrangement. I had asked my wife, Selina, whom I mentioned here, she was pregnant, to come over, and I wanted to say goodbye to her. And our first daughter, who is a doctor in the United States now, I was going to take her with me. She was just about 10. That was the very night I was arrested for murder. I was beaten up, tortured, and held in 3 different prisons. No charge of murder was brought. Unexpectedly, from the BNI, I was hurled. I never received any summons or a charge sheet, but I was brought before a Jekum, the public tribunal, and it was there that a charge of 2 charges, counts of fraud, insurance fraud, were read to me. The records will show that I raised objection because, do your research, they will tell you, Ejekum himself had stolen gold, and he had been offered the post by Tsikata and Rawlings because no member of the bar would accept that. They did that, and I raised that objection too. They tried me under a PN, they tried me under Act 29, which had its own penalty for that offense, which was less, but they sentenced me, they were proceeding to sentence me under the PNDC law, which would allow them to impose 10 years. And I argued against that. I remember he said, you sit there and talk, you will see. 10 years. I told my wives, there were 4 of them. I told them, I'll be back. She who wants to stay in, stay in. I'll be back 1 year. It took me 1 year, and I was out. So I was in some prisons, not as a result of any murder charge, but as a result of, quote unquote, spurious conviction by a thief. Have you seen a thief trying a thief? A thief who convicted me and sentenced me to 10 years. That is why I escaped and I had my freedom, and he regrets that I didn't die there.
Now, that trial you're talking about, the insurance fraud.
Yes.
You were tried by a tribunal comprising Kwaku Ajekum, Major Adu Amanfo,
yes.
then Madam Comfort Esther Efwa Do, and then Mr. Jenkins Kofi. You were properly tried, and you were charged on 2 counts of stealing, contrary to Section 1241 of the Criminal Code 1960, Act 29 and Section 82 of the Public Tribunals Law 1982, PNDC Law 24. So it isn't that you were charged only under any PNDC law. You were charged for stealing.
No, Dr. Samuel, I don't know what has
The
become
documents.
Are you the same person I knew?
Please, just answer the question.
Listen to me. I have just said that I was charged under Act 29 together with the PNDC law. But under Act 29, the penalty would not have been 10 years. They proceeded to apply the penalty under the PNDC law, that bogus, fraudulent law. Were you not a member of the Ghana Bar Association? Why did the Ghana Bar Association boycott the tribunal? Tell me, have you changed your mind? Tell me now.
Your charges were laid.
Tell me.
Charges.
Mr. Asha, please. Mr. Asha.
A member of the Ghana Bar Association that boycotted the tribunal. Now you are holding that their actions were what? All right?
If you're a lawyer, you know that a lawyer doesn't ask, a witness doesn't ask a lawyer questions.
But when they are...
Mr. Asha, it's all right. Please, Mr. Asha.
Is misbehaving, you should tell him that.
Mr. Asha, it's all right.
Yeah,
Please,
the charges were under the criminal code. And they went into the case and passed a reasoned judgment. Lord, I would like the commission to have a look at this document.
I know about it.
If it's a certified copy, we will look at it.
It's not certified, though.
Then we can't look at it.
Well,
you see, Dr. Samwa, you are not the same person you were before.
My Lord,
something has happened to you.
My Lord, we've had occasion here when you looked at documents that were not certified.
No, if it's not certified, we can't look at it. You know that. You know that.
Well, I hope that I hope that the commission would investigate this matter.
I'm sorry. I think all day is...
Please ask your next question.
Now, with regard to the murder charge, my Lord, we have here an application which had been made ex parte to the High Court for a mandamus.
Is it certified, Dr.
That is certified, my Lord.
Let me have a look at it, please. I don't see the relevance, but I'll allow you to use it because this is not a document he signed, and this by another lawyer for another client. Anyway, you may use it.
There is an affidavit that's sworn to by the magistrate that was going to do the committal proceedings, and that is what I want the commission to have a look at.
I didn't look at that one. Let me see. This magistrate was removed from the bench because he wasn't qualified as a lawyer. The magistrate. I'll allow you to use it, even though I have some doubts
Very well, Milord.
I think you know the reason why I have those.
Yes,
doubts.
that is so.
Yes.
But Milord, I just thought, I should just bring it to attention. I
Yes.
mean, I'm going beyond that. I'm moving on to another point.
All right.
Now, in your evidence, you said that America and Co. went to Captain Tsikata's office, and Captain Tsikata prepared the operational pass for them. This is at page 9 of the transcripts that I have. But Amatekwe, in his statement of 23rd November 1982, which the Commission has had the opportunity of looking at yesterday, said that he, Amatekwe, took American and Co. to Gonda Barracks for an operational pass. So which is correct?
Exactly. Doc, listen and listen well. America and America and Senya went to Kojo Tsikata's office, and he prepared the operational pass. I asked America, what is an operational pass? He says it is the pass that allows you to go on any duty inside the emergency hours, curfew hours. And how is it done? He says that it is a format prepared, but then they insert in handwriting the name of the person to whom it is being issued, his rank, the purpose, and then the date, and then the person issuing it signs it. I asked him, who gave you this? He said, Kojo Tsikata. Then I asked him, what about what Amatekwe said? He laughed and he said, that was the fun of it all. Amatekwe was so enthusiastic that when he got me into the car to go around with him, he issued another pass. And when I met, according to America, I'm quoting America, when he met Jandu, Tekpo, Senya, he showed them Amatekwe's superfluous pass, and they were laughing that the guy is too excited about things. So then I asked America, why didn't you explain? He said, Chris, you know what was happening there. It was Amatekwe's pass that I used, but the real pass that allowed us to go in the dead of night, pick up 4 persons, 3 judges, a lady, and an army officer, and take them and kill them was issued and signed by this jackal.
I'm putting it to you that you are lying.
Please, no. Please, don't use such terms here.
Your Honor, my Lord, I will oblige. Was signed by Kojo.
I'm putting it to you that by Amatekwe's own evidence, they went to the operations room. He didn't say Captain Tsikata was there, and they got a pass.
Well,
so you are concocting a story.
Okay. Once again, I knew America those days, didn't I? I never knew America. Yeah. I never knew America anywhere until I met him in Sawam.
Yes.
Until Corporal Amadou introduced America.
So you had no basis for knowing that whatever he told you was true, since you had no information about his character. You didn't know him.
Your Honor, you can say, as a matter of the rudiments of the rule of evidence, that what America told me was not true. But you cannot say that America did not tell me that. And I am recounting to you here, and I am within the ambit of the hearsay evidence which you people have been bandying around everywhere. That is what America told me, and I'm only reciting what the guy told me. You may not believe what he said, but don't disbelieve what he told me, because when I was in jail, you were not there.
All right, it's all right. Dr. Samoa, you've had 35 minutes. I'll give you 25 more, making a total of 1 hour.
Lord, you have a situation where the witness is talking so much.
Well, I think you know how to get the short answers. You put just one question, then you get one answer. But when you preface with the long thing, he wants to comment on your preface, you see. That's what is taking us so much time. But by 11:30, I'm afraid we'll have to stop if by then you haven't finished.
Apply for more time.
I was trying to get... Now, in your evidence, that is at page 18, the one about the people who were at the judges' place, the meeting. No. Yeah. That's not the one. Lord, I'm trying to check the page of the evidence where he talked about a meeting at President Rawlings' office.
All right.
Of the people who were present. I seem to have.
You want me to show you?
Well, if you can refer to the page.
Okay. I did it, so I know where it is. Which one are you talking about?
The meeting where.
You will pay me for the assistance.
The meeting where the what is the Amatekwe is supposed to have announced that he had, done with the.
That was on July the 2nd.
That is correct.
Okay. When Tsikata sang "Long Live the Revolution."
That is it.
Yeah.
That is the part.
He sang in a very bad voice, I'm told. He doesn't have a good voice for singing. Why should I even help him? It is here. Why should I help him?
I can't find it. 18. But in any case,
Yes.
this is at page 17. No, not a minute. That's not the one.
You see, when you vilify a chief in his absence, you see him in the face, you lose all track.
In any case, by your evidence, Lord,
here.
I think it can be checked later. By your evidence, those who were present at that meeting were Chacho Tsikata, then President Rawlings.
Page 18, go top there. Mr. Asher, my Lord, with respect, I will help him, Dr. Sambwa. He was my lecturer, so I give him that respect. But he's going to pay me something. I've lived in America and Britain. Nothing is free there. July, Mr. Asher, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. July the 2nd, 1982, and he told residents that they had already been killed. And according to Amatekwe, Rawlings looked sad. My Lord, wherever in this world has a head of state had 4 prominent citizens of this country murdered, and then he confronts one of his men and tells him, go release the people, and then the man has the courage to tell him that they have been killed. And he doesn't say a word to him. He doesn't get him arrested. He doesn't order him arrested. He walks away. I don't believe there was that confrontation between Amatekwe and Rawlings, but if it was, then the implications are disastrous. Is that what you want, Doc?
But you did mention that Amatekwe told you the people who were present at that the meeting, America told the people who were present at that meeting. I think it is at page 12, my Lord, I think I now have.
I didn't prepare properly, Doc.
Page 12, my Lord, to be at page 12.
Yes.
On the second, that is page 12, my Lord. The second paragraph from the bottom.
Last paragraph.
Yeah, so I see, you see, you're trying to help your lecturer, and your lecturer knows better. I see you couldn't help him. on the second, I understand, I'm reading, my Lord. On the second, I understand Adabuga testified here that there was jubilation. My Lord, there indeed was. Chacho Tsikata, Chris Atim, Flight Lieutenant Odoe, Mr. John Rawlings, Tsikata was then not there. Akatapori, Chacho Tsikata were in Jerry John Rawlings' office when Amatekwe went in there and informed them of what had happened, that the operations had succeeded. So these are the people that you say were present.
The people that I was told were present.
That is what Amatekwe told you. What? First,